Hi, welcome to another behind the scenes video. We're going to look at Logic Drummer today. I have no idea what it's going to be about. It's probably going to end up as a quick tip next week, but these are my thoughts on how great Logic Drummer is, and perhaps more importantly, how to use it and things you might not have explored. So the first thing I'm going to need is some sort of music to put underneath it. That'll do. So let's just have a guitar track. That's pretty cool. Right, anyway, no, drummer is what we're talking about. Couple of ways to add drummers. You can select new drummer there. I tend to just click the add new channel and then pick drummer, because from here you can choose which style of drummer. That was obviously Rocky. So let's just see what Logic does. Okay, so we could just press play. And you could say, hooray, my song's done. The trouble is, the default patterns, you can sort of tell that somebody hasn't gone to the effort of changing the default pattern. So what can we do with drummer? Well, I suppose the first thing is there are different drummers for each style. So we're in rock, and we have Kyle, I think, at the moment, but you could go retro rock, hard rock. So let's just see. It's a bit weird because he's not coming in on the actual beat, is he? That's better. Okay, so pick your drummer, well, pick your style, then pick your drummer. Notice he also has a particular drum kit that he likes playing, so he likes the SoCal kit. Then you've got the main drummer area where we can change different elements. One thing to say actually is this is a acoustic kit. These settings change if it's a electric kit or drum machine. I suppose this could almost turn into two separate tutorials if it had to, because they are so different. So we'll have a look at somebody on an electric kit later. So yeah, different styles and kits. Now we want to make our track unique. So one thing you can do is add different regions. Oops. Let's put the guitar back. So there are two different drummer regions now, and it affects how it plays back. So you'll notice there's a fill here and here, because it knows it's the end of that section. What you could do though is maybe start out just with a hi-hat and then go into the second section. So now you have control over those different parts. And that obviously makes it a lot more interesting rather than just relying on drummer to sort absolutely everything out for you. So adding regions, yeah. So you can add and remove different elements, and then you have control over each of them. So you can pick different patterns. Notice at the end there, we've got half speed and double speed. So or we can half speed. So that's an interesting one to look out for. The fills, if we zoom in a bit here, when you edit the fills, right, let's get this back to just one region, so that's going to be easier to explain. When you change the fills, so that's just no fills, and that's, you tend to get a fill sort of in the middle and towards the end and different intros depending on this setting. But notice that even just a little change so that's a whole snare thing there. This time no hi-hats. So even small adjustments here can have quite a drastic effect on the fill. So one thing to look out for is this lock symbol. So if you're happy with the fill, I would tend to click that, just so you don't accidentally ruin something just that, you know, absolutely inspiring, and then the next thing you know, you've gone and accidentally just tweaked that a little bit and suddenly it sounds horrible. So we've got fills, you've got the swing filter. Which obviously sounds rubbish there, but you get the idea. Oh, don't forget about the XY pad. So not only can you do these changes over here, you've also got the option to go simple, soft, complex and loud, and a combination of them. So we can have super soft. Let's turn that guitar off for a sec. Or we've got simple, complex, loud, and then you have got options to go between these, obviously. So loud and complex, loud and simple, and varying degrees in between. So we can have lots of fills and loud and complex. So don't forget about that XY pad. That's really handy. What else? So we've got the different drummers. And these different patterns, obviously, that you can pick from. Oh, don't forget that some of these things might be grayed out, so you can add them in if you want to. So now we do have a clap in there. Shaker. Oh, don't forget about the follow option. I said about half time and double time. If you turn on follow, you can pick a track for the drummer to listen to. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so you notice it is adapting the rhythm whether you turn that on or not. So it's trying to follow the transitions in the guitar track. So that can actually quite dramatically change your rhythm over the cue to make it sound more realistic. Actually, doesn't always work, and you have to pick the right instrument or just play around. We've also got the details panel. So on this sort of acoustic kit, you've got a pull push, more or less ghost notes. Do you want to have control of the hi-hat, whether it's closed or open, or do you want to leave it on automatic? So if we push the beat a little bit, you can see that shifting. Or pull back. Yeah, so don't forget about the details panel as well. So the point here is there's so many things you can change or just tweak so that it's not quite out of the box, which is the point, because we're trying to make this realistic. The other thing, I suppose, is we can change the drum kit. So if we don't like the sound of SoCal, we can get Kyle to play on a heavy kit. Or the Brooklyn kit. If you like that, you can always lock it there as well. Just out of interest, let's load in some sort of hip hop. I suppose I better line that up properly. Okay. So this is Des with trap. We could change it to modern hip hop. Notice the drum is changing to beat machine now. And you can see that there's different options down here. So we don't have that drum kit laid out, but you've got essentially the same sort of effects that you can edit. What is quite different is the details panel, and you can go in and say how complex you want each of the parts to be, and you can have a range. So you've got a top and a lower range, so you know, phrase variations. Don't forget you can lock all these controls, humanize. This will take it off the grid so it's not as quantized. Sounds a bit weird at low tempo. But useful to just remember that there are slightly different options that you are presented with, and the reason for that is acoustic or electric. Oh, one of the most genius things. If you're sitting there thinking, oh no, actually, I want to program my own drummers, that's fine. But you can use drummer as a starting place, because then if you right click, go to convert to MIDI region, how cool is that? So if I want more of those claps or those snares, let's put a bunch of those in. You know, you can now, from the drummer template, you've got the start of your own rhythm. So now with MIDI editing, obviously you can control the velocities. So you could even, what can we try? Trying to ramp up. I mean, that is just so much fun. And that doesn't just apply to the electronic drums either. So works on the the acoustic kit as well. So what I'm going to do is first of all remind you to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. But if you've got any ideas or different ways that you use drummer, do put them in the comments, because I do enjoy reading them. And hopefully this will turn up in a video next week for quick tips for using drummer, and I will try and break down the most important, well, in my opinion, but I love using drummer. Saves so much time and actually can be quite inspirational when you're stuck trying to think of a rhythm. You know, use the tools that are available. Have a lovely rest of your day. See you in the next one.